Hello, Ritvik. This is Ajay Kumar, and I'm a verified educator on Academy, and I have been taking courses for the past few months. So I was told by Unacademy team that you have some queries with respect to your UPSC preparation. So you can just tell me now what are the queries. So before we start with the queries and all, so we can know exactly what some brief intro about you, so that we can exactly plan exactly what exactly is the issue. Okay.
Yes, thank you, sir. Sir, actually, my name is Writvik Gupta. I've done my MBA
Okay.
in marketing. So basically, I'm just currently preparing for SSC preparation. But because about the Supreme Court decision that
Yeah. Yes.
so I have given that railway exam, like ALP
Okay.
and QP. So I have been waiting for that exam, for the results. So the main thing is I am preparing for 2020 UPSC examination. So that's my main aim, to
Okay.
qualify for the 2020 UPSC. So basically, I have gone through various websites, including Unacademy and other publications also. But my query is, so basically, as a beginner, how will you start? Because basic things I have read from previous the toppers also in Quora, in other sites, that I have to complete NCRTs, basic things. After that, go through other books, because we have
Yes.
to have we have to make our base strong. After that, we have to move
Yes,
to other
Ritvik.
books.
Yes, that's true.
So, sir, actually, you are an educator. You have been dealing with all these subjects for quite a time. So, sir, my query is, as a beginner, means how will you choose after completing NCT, or side by side? What are the timetable? Because I am be preparing for full time, because I'm not doing any job. So
Understand. Yeah.
and my age is currently 29 years of age. So I don't have many chances, and I belong to general category. So
Okay.
keeping all this in mind, sir, could you please throw some light so that it will be grateful for me? And also, I have some students who, my friends, sorry, who.
Yes, I understand that. So let me put it that way. So the basic thing is you want to understand how to go with the NCRT, right?
Everything, sir, because from NCRT, because day before yesterday also I have been browsing for NCRT, like sociology I was reading, the class 11 standard, and also the class 9 standard social science. So
Yeah.
basically NCRT and other things. If you please elaborate me in details so that it will
Yeah.
be.
Okay, fine. So yeah, yes, Ritvik, I understand now. So earlier, from past few days, so like I've been hearing these kind of things. So the first thing is, why do many people say that NCRTs are the base? So that is the first query we must understand, right? So NCRTs are like a standard topic. So when you want to enter into any subject, for example, let us consider the economy. For example, if you want to study about the economy and all, we should understand the basic terminologies.
Yes, sir.
Like if in order to get that particular base, so be it economy or any other subject, what exactly happens is, if you want to understand the subject before we get into the standard books, for example, if someone is reading some book with respect to economy, so we cannot directly go and start reading that book, and that will impact our preparation too. Because what exactly happens is, if we don't have some background knowledge, so definitely NCRTs are going to provide that background knowledge. So that is the first thing everyone has to follow. So NCRTs are like a kind of source, the important source where we have to start our preparation. So that will be the first step.
Sir, sorry to interrupt. Can I speak?
Sorry?
Can I speak? I have just one query. Can I speak, sir?
Yeah. Tell me.
Actually, sir, you were telling about NCRT, so because
Yes.
you told that there are some terminologies that we need to understand to know
Yes, exactly. Yes.
before moving to the higher standard books. So, sir, because sir, we can, maybe it's my opinion. I don't know whether it is right or wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. Suppose by going to the previous UPSC question paper and the syllabus thoroughly, so we'll get an overview about what are the terminologies are asked in this question. So can I just without going through that traditional approach by following the NCRT, can we just note down all the terminologies and can take the help of the Google and can study? Is it a right method, or will it take extra time?
Okay. So, okay, fine. What you are telling is that we can refer the previous papers and that terminologies we can understand. So that is what you suggest, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So the thing is, we cannot expect what thing will be coming. For example, there was something in the news, especially with respect to what do you call this credit enhancement, for example. So yesterday that was in the news with respect to RBI giving some kind of permission to the bank with respect to the credit enhancement.
Yes, sir.
Now, these kind of things we can understand when we have some basic knowledge. Now, if you can Google that, you may get the information, but we must have some basic knowledge. So that will be building up your base. So NCERTs are never considered as something like, which everyone should ignore, but we must follow NCERTs. So that is a basic thing. Because we cannot expect what terminologies will be asking in the next examination, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Another point, because in CT, the topics they're given, that are static portion, right, sir?
Yes.
So static portion, we can cover it from anywhere also, no? So why NCERT?
Yeah.
Because I follow NCERT, but I just cover it because university purpose, I'm thinking that why NCERT? Because it is unpredictable examination. So I don't know why the question comes.
So yes, why they prefer NCERT is, for example, in case of any kind of dispute between NCERT books and other books. So what happens is NCERTs are considered as a government books, right? So what exactly happens if there is some dispute with a question? Let us consider a dispute with a question. So finally, the NCERTs will prevail. Okay. That is the first point. And the other thing is, whenever you are focusing on many other subjects, for example, we just talked about economy. For example, when you look at the system like, in polity, we have a system called first past the post system. So you can get these kind of information only when you read the NCERTs.
Yes.
So why did I say NCERTs in particular? Because rather than referring to many other different sources, NCERTs will be a standard source. And that will be the ultimate source. If there is some dispute with respect to that, you can directly refer the NCERT and that can be shown to the UPSC too. So that is the main reason why NCERTs are being prepared. At the same time, you must refer this NCERT. So once you get this knowledge from the NCERT, you will be able to link that with the current affairs also. So for example, if you are going to the newspaper, you have come across, for example, just now we talked about the credit enhancement, right? So you can able to relate that with the NCERT. So the subject which you have learned at the NCERTs will be of greater use even in the current affairs too.
Okay, got it. Yes, sir. Yes.
So NCERTs as a standard subject.
Yes,
yeah.
Because those credit enhancement, all those things, it will be applicable in the mains and the interview round, right, sir?
Exactly. Yes.
Sir, and another query, sir, can I speak?
Yes.
So many friends have asked me first round is prelims, then mains and interview. What will be the approach for preparing? Prelims will another approach, mains and interview.
So there are many approaches there many people will follow. Yeah. So
will be a complete package. Suppose I'll be preparing for 2020. Suppose I'll start preparing devotedly from tomorrow, day one. So how will I approach the timeline? Keeping in mind the interval. First, will I target the first prelims only, or just I have to target? No, I have to crack the UPSC in the first attempt. So what is my?
That's really good to know that you want to clear in the first attempt. That is the dedication everyone requires. So that I would really like to appreciate you for that. So the first thing is that you must focus not just on a particular point of view. For example, if you are preparing only for the preliminary examination, that will result in some kind of issue when you clear prelims. But what about the mains?
Yes.
So the preparation should be like a concurrent one, where you should focus on the preparation from the mains perspective too. So mains is something like where you will be able to write some answers and essays. So when can you write that? When you have the basic knowledge, you can write that. So with this basic knowledge, you can clear the preliminary examination.
Yes, sir.
So the preparation has to be mains oriented. It should not be like prelims oriented, and we should only focus on MCQs and all.
Okay.
It has to be like mains oriented one.
Okay, mains oriented. It's mains and interview oriented also.
Yes, exactly. If you can get some good knowledge at the mains, so definitely that will be beneficial. Like mains is something broader one where you can learn a lot, where you have to write a lot. So you have to put the positive points as well as the negative points while writing the answers.
Yes,
so when you are doing this, definitely it clearly shows that you have got some good knowledge about the subject and the content. So that will be useful for the interview too.
Yes, agreed.
Yeah, that is the main objective. And so anything apart from this?
Yes, sir. One thing is, sir, you told me about writing, because for 3 hours we have to continuously write and write because we have to solve 20 questions. So
Yeah.
we have just minimum time we are required. The minimum time is there to think from jumping from one question to another question. So
Yeah.
I'm just asking that. Main thing is we have to practice a lot to clear the mains round. So, but means how will as a fresher how will I choose? Means what are the current affairs I have to choose because like Hindi newspaper if I read Indian Express. So like there are so many current affairs topics are there. So sir, means how will I decide which is the important? What are the important topics so that that are beneficial for the for UPSC mains?
Okay. So the best strategy for the mains preparation is to keep on writing. You have to write the answers as much as possible. So that is the first thing everyone has to do. Because when you keep on writing, that will improve your capability of writing as well as that improves the speed. Because in UPSC mains, even speed matters. You know how well you are writing in a shorter time. Right? Everyone can write answers. So the thing is, even you can write answers, I can write answers, someone else can write the answers. The content will be same, but it all depends on the the way we are representing the answer, the way we are presenting the answer. So when can you get that? Yes, when can you get that? Only when you practice.
Yes, sir.
So the first thing is, so as you are in the beginning stage, I would suggest first you must focus on completing all the NCERTs with a strong base. Forget about the time. Don't worry that you are taking that much amount of time in preparation or just reading NCERTs. Just focus on NCERTs in such a way that you should be perfect in that. Okay. Only after getting thorough with the NCERTs, I strongly suggest you then start writing the answers by reading the newspaper too.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So the main thing is that we should focus on the NCERTs, which is acting as a stronger base for us. So when we get these things completed, that will be of greater use for our standard preparation as well as in writing the answers, because we will get some basic abilities of these particular questions.
Yes, sir. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
So another you're telling that reading newspaper. So actually, I am personally follow Indian Express and Times of India. So is it okay? Like I'm following these papers, or we have to follow any other journals or any magazines?
Yeah. So actually, there are some important things like Yojana. For example, Yojana is a government magazine which is very, very important because it will be covering the government schemes. Okay. For example, if someone asks you, so there might be a question with respect to that, who deals with the physically disabled people, which is a ministry dealing with that. We must know that. So that will be better understand only when you go through this particular Yojana where the schemes will be given in detail. For example, last month they have focused on women empowerment. So what they have discussed in the Yojana is they have covered the various articles and various initiatives taken up by the ministry, particularly for the women empowerment. Okay. So that is how you can get some complete idea, and that will also be a source. So Yojana will also be a source where you can get the clear statistics, like how well the scheme is implemented, what is the change. So if you can mention these kind of statistics, that will be of greater advantage for you in the mains.
Okay, sir. Good, sir. Understood.
Yeah.
Sir, another query I have, sir. Sir, like while answer writing in the mains, sir, can I use different color pens or for just highlighting, like Mindmap, flowcharts I'll be drawing, but for important points I'm doing green pen, or just starting bold I'm using blue pen or black pen. So is it possible, or just you have to follow
green is not at all allowed. Green, red, or these things are not allowed. So you can change between black and blue. It is not a problem. But what happens is, you can use this mind map, flowcharts and everything. That is not at all a problem. So just restrict only to two colors, that is blue and black. Okay. And the other thing is, so when the time will be very, very less actually, Writvik. So when you are writing the answers, the time will be very less. So where, for example, if the person has given 20 questions and you need to attempt that in 3 hours, so you can just calculate how well the time it needs, right? You need to think about how to present the answer. You have to write the answer. It takes much time actually. You cannot focus on highlighting those things by changing the pen, and that will be waste of time.
Yes, so maximum I have to go 7 to 8 minutes for one question.
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
Yes, sir. So I think it's you were telling that to read the newspapers. Sir, I've been reading newspapers for the last 4 to 5 years. I've been reading. So main thing is I read everything, but keeping UPSC in mind, so what are the topics I need to focus on, especially suppose take for example Indian Express. So what are the pages I have to study and what are the things I need to avoid? So can you please tell me?
Yeah, so actually, for these kind of thing, I have already started a course as a trick. So where I will be dealing only with the current affairs which are in relevance to UPSC. So which may be the question may be asked on this. So I'm dealing with these kind of courses actually in Unacademy. So the thing is, yeah. So what exactly happens is we cannot clearly say. For example, if there is some political issue, we cannot expect questions from this. So, for example, like it might be with respect to some arrest of a politician, and recently we have seen this Tiger Avani killing and all. So we cannot expect these questions. But what happens is that may relate it. For example, the recent news is with respect to Tiger Avani killing in the state of Maharashtra. So they will not ask the name of the tiger. They will not ask what exactly happened. But what they will ask is they will focus on human-animal conflict.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Relation is the environment question will come, sir.
Exactly. So these kind of questions may be asked. So you should think in a dynamic way while you are reading the newspaper too. And if possible, I strongly suggest if you can make a mention of them in the points wise, in a separate notes.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
You can also refer the courses which I have made with respect to the current affairs. So
yes, absolutely. Today I'll absolutely look.
Yeah, sure. No problem. Yeah. Anything else?
Yes, sir. So another thing is like in Saudi Arabia, on Qatari just one journalist died.
Yes,
so
yes.
Like this type of questions will come.
No, we cannot expect this question, but what might be asking is with respect to the press freedom again. Freedom of press.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so you're getting right. Freedom of press might be an aspect. For example, we have a index with respect to this, freedom of press index, which deals with the press duties and all, how well the press are able to perform their duties freely. So we have to focus on these kind of index. For example, recently we have seen ease of doing business index. So we should focus on that ranking and what made India to improve the ranking. So we just not focus on the rank. For example, India has got the rank of 77. But we'll not just focus on the rank, but we'll also focus what are the parameters which help India.
Yes, sir. Absolutely, sir. The 10 parameters again, we have to focus on this. Which are the strengths and which are the weaknesses.
Exactly. That's it. Now you got the point.
Yes, sir. Yes, I got it. Because now I got from your explanation that it's a very dynamic paper and I have to think out of the box. It means not out of the box. It's a little bit. You have to use observe a little bit and you use some common sense to have the exam. Have I told it right?
Yes, you are right.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. And another thing is like in the prelims, because sir, in 2017 June month, in the month of June, sir, I have given one time in the UPSC. I have given just to see the paper. How was it?
Yeah.
Because actually I don't have that luxury because and now I'll be becoming 30. So in the next year, so I don't have the age, and I also belong to general category. So I just only have 3 chances left. So I'm trying to 2020 so that I'll prepare dedicatedly and I can crack it for UPSC. So another thing is, so like the preference like IAS, IPS, IFS, sir, basically UPSC is doing service to the nation, right, sir?
Yes.
Any post we choose, we provide service to the nation to provide helping the society, so that
exactly.
So that everyone can get benefits. Sir, so as a fresher, sir, what will be your suggestion that you choose this post and that post? Means IS, if I choose IPS is like a police, IS is administration, IFS is foreign service or forest service. So like, can you please throw some light, like how will I choose? Means what will be best? Means
yes, exactly. That's a good question. Yeah, I understand now. So it's based on, for example, when you look at few people, there might be many people interested in the foreign relations. So there are people, for example, I have seen particularly many people who have been preparing for the UPSC and they have developed some stronger interest towards the international relations and they have chosen the foreign service. So it's completely based on your interest. Like for example, if you are interested in law and order and all, so definitely you must choose the IPS kind of thing. And if you are interested in administration where you want to be behind the policy making, so if you want to prepare the policies and if you want to look after the development of the people, then you must choose IAS. So these are the things we must keep in mind. So while you are dealing with the preparation, or before you start the preparation, you have to develop a core area. So where, where you want to focus on. For example, if your interest is towards administration, then I would suggest IAS. And if you are focusing on law and order, that is IPS. And there are many people who are focusing on the revenue service too.
Yes, sir.
Right, which focus on taxes and, definitely economy is very important. So even IRS has been doing a greater job. So all of these jobs, definitely, as you said, every job is definitely nothing but a service to the nation.
Yes.
So it completely depends on your interest, and not me or anyone can suggest you what you have to choose, but you have to understand what is the role of these jobs, and only then you can able to choose it. It's completely based on your interest and the job prospects.
Okay, sir. Got it. No, got it. Sir, I think it's a very tricky one because maintenance to provide service to the nation. Now, maybe I have to just go deep down, just have to see my intuition, instinct, like what will suit my aptitude and the attitude towards the work. Right, sir?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Have I said it correctly?
Yes, you're right, Writvik.
Yes, sir. So that's only I'm a little bit confused. Okay, sir, I'll just look into this matter because whatever points you said, sir, everything. So, sir, if I say just preparing for the prelims round, sir, what are the steps I have to, sir, keep this in mind?
So you want to prepare for the prelims this time?
No, sir. I'm telling the prelims means, sir, everything, sir, because I'm just, you told me, sir, about the mains. You told me, like,
yeah.
Writing, yes. I'm just, because while preparing, I have to just take that only one exam, like I have to crack in the first attempt. So
exactly, yes.
Main thing is, because the approach, I think personally, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, that the approach of giving the prelims, I think it's a little bit different because it's a multiple choice process there.
Okay, that's really good, interesting thing. So what you can do is, once you have covered the subject, so once you feel that have covered the subject, what you can do is, you can go through the previous papers. Now, what exactly you will get from the previous paper? So it is must for every UPSC aspirant. So whenever we are focusing on dealing with the subjects and all, it is must for every UPSC aspirant to also focus on the previous questions, because we can understand the change in the trend. For example, earlier UPSC has much focus on the static subjects and the questions were very different. But for the past 3 to 4 years, the trend has been changed where they are focusing on the current affairs. And for last year paper, they completely maintain an equilibrium where they try to bring the static subjects from the current affairs too. So there has been this kind of dynamic in the UPSC preliminary examination.
Yes, sir. Yes.
So when you are done with the preparation, you must go through the earlier papers too. So the way the questions are being asked, and what might be the possible solution, you can also go through that kind of aspects.
Okay.
So that will, like once you are done with the subject, that will completely fulfill your preparation. That is what I would like to tell you.
Okay, sir. Got it, sir. And the query is, sir, because like every year the candidates are growing for preparation of UPSC, and more candidates are sitting for UPSC. And most of all, everyone knows, like NCT, what are the books to follow, because everyone knows. I think it is available in the internet, everything, any publication. So, but my query is, the seats are limited. It's close to 1,000. Like this year, 781 or 761. I forgot the number. Yes. So, like, if everybody reading the same materials, like, means what are the innovative approach one should take so that it can be cracked in the first attempt, because everyone knows these are the books out there.
Yes. So as I said, if you remember, I just said that answer will be same. So everyone writing the same content, but what makes the difference is the way we present the answer makes the difference. For example, if there is any question given with respect to women empowerment, so what few people will do is they will start writing the dynamic concepts directly. So what is happening in the present trend, they will be writing about the women empowerment. So what few people will do is they will start from the women from the ancient era. So how were women treated and how are the changes happen? Now how is the process going on and what is the present thing? Now if you can look into these two answers, which one would you choose? The dynamic one or the one which is starting from the ancient and dealing with the dynamic one?
So we're starting till dynamic one. It's a whole over.
Yeah, definitely. So this made difference. The content is same. Ultimately, they are coming to the dynamic part, but the content is same. But what made the difference? The way they are presenting the answers is different.
Okay, sir. Okay.
So this is what makes difference. The way you represent the answer is different, right? And that will be achieved only when you start writing the answers as many as possible. But as you are in the initial stage, I strongly suggest you first finish the NCRTs in a better way, so that if any question is asked from the NCRT, you can do it. You should be doing that. So just don't forget about the time while you are dealing with the NCRTs. Just focus on how well you are going on, how well you are able to understand the content in NCRTs. That will be the greatest thing, and I'm sure you can do it in a one sitting directly.
Yes, absolutely, sir. Absolutely, sir. Another thing is like in this newspaper, just as you told, like I have to go through the ease of index, the ease of business, all those detailed things. Like in the newspaper, in the newspaper only I have to do just editorials and current affairs, and rest I need to exclude that.
Sorry, can you come again, Ritwik? I didn't get you.
Sir, suppose in Indian Express, there are many topics that just I need to focus on those important current affairs and those editorial parts, and rest what I have to exclude.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, great, sir. No, sir. Yes, sir. Tell me, sir.
Yeah. So, is there any query left?
No, sir.
Yeah.
Basic doubts, because I'll be giving 2020. So, because as you
Yes.
said, I have to focus on the NCERT, the basic things. After that, I'll move to the next level. No,
Yes.
sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for your precious time.
Yeah, seriously, I'm really overwhelmed by talking to you. The way you have, particularly the understanding and the trend, you have understood like number of vacancies and all. Seriously, I'm impressed with this conversation, and I'm hoping that you will definitely do it in just one sitting. Ritwik, I'm very thankful to you for the talking to me and clearing these doubts for yourself. And all the best for your preparation. Thank you,
sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you once again, sir. And thing is, I'm grateful to Unacademy. Like I have written many Google forms to other voices also, but
yes.
But company and platform that you contacted me, Manoj sir contacted me now. Hamanpreet ma'am also contacted me. So I am grateful to the team and you also that they are providing a platform so that you educators, like talented educators, are providing us like courses like to poor people and also the talented people who can make a career and can understand the government sector, because everyone blames the government. So they don't understand how the government runs, what are the difficulties. So thanks that you guys are helping to make us a responsible citizen of our country.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Ritwik, for this. And Unacademy is definitely a greater platform where it is, going into the interior parts of India, where it has reached out to many rural children, to rural citizens and rural people who want to clear the examination. So definitely Unacademy is a great platform, and do download the Unacademy app, follow the courses. Okay?
Yes, sir. I've been following for the last few months, 7 to 8 months. I've been following sectors, Roman sciences, many sir. I've been following. So I've been following SSC, but actually I shifted to UPSC. So because lots of courses are there, and I'm very happy that it had crossed 2.5 million. People. So it's a great tremendous, because in a short span of time, I also read the news also, like they got a funding from the Silicon Valley. They went, now you have been guys also attached to the Wi-Fi study team also. So there will be a revolution because all you based in Jaipur, and now you are calling for Bangalore, but Roman Science is from Jaipur. So they have been attached. So it's great to know. Like it's a good feeling that yes, because.
Okay, that's it. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much. Yeah. All the best. Bye-bye.
Bye, sir. Bye, sir.